Okay, Siman Tov Zayin, which is the last Siman in Hilchas Techumin, and then we go to Hilchas Eruvei Techumin, which is not that long, and then that is the end of Hilchas Eruvim. Okay, so Tov Zayin, short Siman. Aleph, someone who goes out of the Techum with permission. So what sort of situations are you allowed to leave the Techum? A midwife who comes to give birth. So say for example she's in town A, and there's a messenger comes along from town B that a woman is in labor, she needs assistance. So the midwife in town A is allowed to go beyond her Techum to go to town B to help her. And similar situations. So this midwife who then goes to the new place, she has the 2,000 damas from the place, but the place where she arrives at. And if she goes into a city, she has the same tchum as the residents of that city. And she'll therefore have 2,000 damas beyond the city. Says Mishabura. There are things, something you're allowed to go out. Could go in shari in pikuach nefesh. Any other pikuach nefesh situation, we give other situations in Sif Gimel. Someone who is allowed to go out to testify on the Kiddush HaChodesh bisman shekitshu al pi re'iyah, like in the days when they would be mekadesh al pi re'iyah from seeing the moon, and you want to give edus, then that would be another reason to leave the Techum. If you look at footnote number 1, he says, very interesting, what if this midwife is called to go from town A to town B, but to get there, you're going through secluded places, and you're going with a non-Jewish taxi on your own in dark, discreet places where there could be shadows of yichud. Is another Jewish person from town A allowed to go with her? So very interesting, which means that the whole heter is for the midwife to go, to leave the Techum. Can another person accompany her and violate the Issa of Techum to help the midwife overcome the problem of Yichud? So he says here, if other Jewish people can come with her, that it's better to violate Tchumin shehu midrabanan l'roiv hashitas me'asher shetaver hamialed alisa yichud shehu min ha'Torah. In many situations, yichud could be an issa d'oraisa. Me'idach b'shal shuvus hamek sheila hisig al dvar v'kolsav shech klal hu b'dinai b'yadeinu. There is a klal she'ein oimim la'adam chatei b'shul she'yizke chaverei. We can't say to one person sin in order to save the other person from a big avera. It's an interesting shaila. Okay, Pseudo.
She goes from town to town and then keeps going. Does her Techum keep resetting? She goes one.
Yes, each time there's a new situation, then she's got a heter to go, so she gets the new Techum. Yeah. L'chol Orach, Mishnah Berurah Cotton Base. V'im hoyu muvlo in alpaim elu b'toich Techumai. If she goes to town B and the Techum of town B sort of intersects with the Techum of town A, there's an overlap. Then so then she can go back home and she gets the original Techum. But if it's further, then she gets just the 2,000 amas of that place she goes to. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sivkot Gimel Afla Acha Shekva Osa HaMitzvah. So even though she's done the mitzvah, and therefore maybe you should say she should stick to Daled Amas or something. No, because we allow her to stay. We give her 2,000 amas in the place where she arrived at. They allowed it. If you're going to say to her, yeah, you can go and help this lady give birth, or pikuach nefesh situation, or Eid Zachedesh, but then once you've done the job, you've done the mitzvah, you've got to stay in 4 amas, they're not going to want to do it again. Sivkot and Dalet, Harukan She'ed, Asuhu, Ki'ilu Shavas Ben Hashmoshes. They made out as if she was there Ben Hashmoshes. The Chola Lo Ka'arba Amas. Va'ayin Le'el, Soif Simen Reish Mem Ches, Me'inyan Yotzim Be'erev Shabbos, L'dvar Mitzvah, Ayin Shal Mishnah Berurah Sivkot and Base, Mashe Kosavna Bin Zeh. Okay, base. Hoyu Yotzim B'Reshus. So the person went out with permission. V'hu Haylech Baderech. And then he was on the way. The mitzvahs happened already. You know, there have been a couple edim for the Kiddush HaChodesh, or this lady's given birth already, and everything is okay. You have 2,000 amas from where you are. If there is overlap, you know, you've got 2,000 amas, and it takes you back to the Techum of the place where you came from. So you go back to your original place as if you never left. Says the Mishnah Berurah Kotan Vav, they told them that the mitzvahs happened. You have 2,000 amas from your original place, or your original house. That if you go back into your Techum, then you've lost your 2,000 amas that you were given by the Chomim. And that's how the poskim seem to take it. And therefore you have only your original Techum. Gimel. Kol hayetzim lahatzil nefashos Yisrael miyad ovid kechavim. Anyone who goes out for like an army situation to save Jewish souls from non-Jewish attackers, or from a river that is someone is drowning in a river or is overflowing river, or some sort of mapoles, some sort of I think a house full. Yesh lohem alpaim amalachol rach makom shetzilbei. You went out for a hatzolakul, basically. You then get 2,000 amas from that place of where you did your mitzvah. If the let's say it's a war zone, you've gone into Lebanon, for example, and the non-Jewish people there are in control, and you're scared to stay there, you're allowed to come back on Shabbos with the weapons. Says the Mishnah Berurah Yudches, even though you may have been victorious in this particular incursion, but still they're in control of the place, the non-Jewish people there, and you're scared, and you're allowed to go back. Even though it means going more than the Techum, which could be very relevant in a war situation, sadly, and even nowadays in Lebanon and other places. And you're allowed to bring your weapons. And bringing your weapons back, even if it's sort of under Jewish control, you still are allowed to bring them back. If it's within 2,000 amas, you can bring them back. Because if you leave them there, they're going to run after you. If you look at footnote 8, that's one reason. They'll say, hey, they've given up and they're going to run after you. But if you look at footnote 8, he gives another reason. Tam acher kosova Rambam that if I leave my stuff there, you're worried that that's not. Then I'm going to leave my special gun and my armory. I don't want to do that. The Gemara gives the reason that the Goyim will see that their klei their armor and their weapons have been abandoned and they run after them. That's your heta to bring your weapons into your city. Even before this takana, even before the takana, they could have brought it to the nearby house, near the chayma, because of that reason of the Rambam of Shel Asid Love. Okay, Beseda, that is the end of Hilchas Techum.